Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network. I'm your host, Rick Davis. It's a pleasure for us to be here again with you this week. As always, I would like to urge you to follow me on social media. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. For all your real estate needs, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I urge everyone to go to our website at brooksanddavis.com. It's a pleasure to be here with you this week. We have a really exciting show lined up for you. As always, my co-host is not only a real estate broker, two-time author, but also a serial entrepreneur. So I'd like to introduce the Prime Real Estate Network audience to my co-host, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you doing, Larry?
I'm great. Thank you for the introduction, Rick. I always appreciate it. Guys, it is a pleasure to be in front of you again today. I'm excited. We have, again, some great information that you'll be receiving. And with that being said, I guarantee you that you're going to find some things out today that you just did not know. And so, of course, like my man Rick said, you can most definitely follow me on any of your social media platforms, at Texas Real Estate King, or you can go to my website, Larry W. Brooks. And of course, we want you to be able to share this knowledge, those secrets that you're going to get today about the product that my friend has. I want your friends to be able to receive them. So make sure that you share this post. In addition to that, if you're listening to the podcast, go ahead and give us a review and leave a comment. That allows the podcast to grow and for other people to be able to see it in different areas. So thank you so much.
I urge everyone who's watching this episode, if you have any friends, family, co-workers who suffer from allergies or have children that suffer from allergies, please tag them, text them, and make them aware of this episode of the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, because on this episode, we're going to discuss inner air quality in your home, how it can affect allergies or the general health and well-being of you and your family. And with that being said, I would like to introduce everyone to our guest today. Our guest is Mr. Myron Washington. He is the founder and president of Strong Home and Stroho.com. So for everyone that's tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network, I'd like to introduce our guest, Mr. Myron Washington. How are you doing, sir?
Rick, Larry, thank you guys both for having me. This is very exciting for us to have the opportunity to connect with your audience. And so we definitely want to be able to take this time to share our product with all of them. And so we're going to actually sit here and have a discussion on the importance of changing air filters regularly, our Strong Home kits, and how folks can come to our website to purchase an air filter subscription.
And, Myron, I'll thank you for your time, because the information you're going to share today with our listeners and our viewers is absolutely invaluable. So I would like to start off our conversation by discussing inner air quality. And why is it that so many homeowners and prospective homeowners don't take inner air quality or the quality of the air in their home as seriously as someone like yourself would advise?
Well, for air filters and indoor air quality, you have to keep in mind it's out of sight, out of mind. Right. And so, when folks, especially when they're moving into a home for the first time, the things that are important to them is paint colors, furniture.
Right.
Yeah. Getting those boxes emptied, getting, if it's new carpet that they need, and again, our product, it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Right.
And so it doesn't become important until something happens. And a lot of times for us, we pick up customers once the AC guy is at the home telling them that they haven't changed the air filter, and this is why now the unit is clogged and it's not blowing out the proper air. And then is when they realize, oh, wow, I did talk to, or I did see an ad from Stroho, and we should have, picked up that air filter subscription. And that's a lot of times then when folks will come to us and then pick up a subscription because they said, oh, yeah, you told us.
Yep.
But at the time, it wasn't important. And again, it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and it's at that point to where it's either one, someone is sick in the home and the doctor is telling them that it's their allergies that's affecting them, or it's the AC guy who's telling them you've either ruined this unit or the unit is not working properly because you have not changed your air filter.
And no, and that brings up a really interesting point, because initially we were discussing inner air quality as far as it is concerning your allergies, breathing, sinus issues, etc. But you just brought up an interesting point about actually damaging your air conditioning unit and your HVAC system by disregarding changing out your air filters. So just from a dollar and cents standpoint, could you just speak towards how many clients you've seen that have actually damaged their HVAC system by taking something like this for granted?
Every summer. Every summer.
No, and I mean, but Mr. Brooks, no, this is very interesting. Just from your experience, Mr. Brooks, a full HVAC system or replacing a damaged air conditioner, from a dollar standpoint, what would someone be thinking about on a home for something like that? Because I think for some people who don't have allergies, they may be thinking, well, I'm not allergic, pollen doesn't bother me, but everyone appreciates saving money,
no doubt
and
about
taking care of one of the most valuable resources in their home.
No doubt about it. And one of the things that I'll say is, that's not in my job description, so I have no idea. But
I'll take care of that for
no
you.
doubt about it. But with that being said, I would say that you need to side with not putting yourself in a situation to have that happen. And I guarantee that everyone that's listening, that's snapping their fingers right now, that's stumping their feet saying, I wish I'd have known this beforehand, they're saying exactly what I'm saying. Don't let it happen. So
absolutely.
And so the thing is, and what I try to, in a lot of my job now, more than anything, is just educating people on the importance of air filters and changing them regularly. Because here's one thing that people don't realize. At night when you're in bed and you're asleep, you're constantly breathing. And as you're breathing in the air that you're taking in, if you haven't changed that air filter, what's happening is that filter is full. It's full of dirt, dust, all of the allergens that have been pulled, the pollen, the dust mites that have been pulled throughout the home are now in that filter. But the minute that unit clicks on, it then blows all of that dust back into your home. So if you're even going through your home and your home is unusually dusty, 9 times out of 10, it's time for you to change your air filter as well. And so that is because that filter is so dusty, it's just blowing it all back into the home. And as we sit down and if we're watching Monday Night Football, if we're watching Power or any of our shows, as we sit there and just continue to breathe, we're taking in all of that. And then that's where the sickness and the allergies and all of that becomes and actually gets you affected. And that's where you're sick, and then you start passing that on to, your family members and things of that nature. And so one of the things that now I'm trying to make sure that we focus on is just educating parents, especially on the importance of changing air filters. If your kids are sneezing a lot throughout the home, if your kids are constantly having runny nose, if your kids are constantly sick, please check your air filters.
Absolutely.
All right. And again, because it's out of sight, out of mind, I know a lot of folks will say, I'm going to run out to the store right now and I'm going to pick up some air filters. That's great. And you'll do that. But then the minute you change them, 90 days later, it's time for you to change them again and you've already forgotten.
Yep.
And so with an air filter subscription, we do not allow you to forget.
Right. And let's talk about that a little bit, because we're going to have some viewers and some listeners that's like, great, Mr. Washington, we agree, I'm sold. But what is it that your company can provide for us, meaning a consumer? And what is it that you can help them with and take out of their hands so they don't have to worry about such things?
Well, the biggest thing right now is convenience, right? We live in one of the largest cities in the world. And with all of the traffic and things of that nature, time is extremely important for all of us, right?
Yep, I would agree.
So the one thing that we'll do is we'll save you time right out of the gate. Okay. And then secondly, we want to save you money. And how we're saving you money, it's on a number of facets. One, we're cheaper than Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart. We don't charge you for shipping.
Right.
Two, if you're changing your air filters regularly, it reduces your energy bill,
Right.
which is extremely important. All right. And so my home, for instance, 3,500 square feet, even in the summer months, our bill is not over $200.
Wow.
And that is because we're consistently changing the air filters, we're staying on top of it, and we're operating the unit, not allowing the unit to operate us.
Right.
And so what happens is if that air filter is dirty, that unit is going to continue to come on more because it's trying to cool off the house. It's trying to actually hit that temperature. So if you have your thermostat set at 72, it's going to keep coming on because it's trying to get the home down to 72 degrees.
Right.
But because that filter is clogged, it's clogging up the unit, and so it's making the unit work more.
Yeah.
And that's why your energy bill is much higher than what it should be. And so, again, and then lastly, we're offering you convenience. You know, you have kids, you have other things that you want to do, so why waste time going out to the big box retailer when we can just put it at your doorstep every time it's time for you to change it?
Yeah. And you know, the biggest thing to that is literally the convenience involved in it. Because I think a lot of people, it never comes to mind. No one sets an alert to say, oh, this is what I need to do. And then when it does hit them, they put it on their to-do list, and they're thinking, oh, I'll go next month when I'm going to the grocery store, maybe, right? And so I think the biggest part of it is the convenience, and the literally all they have to do is grab it, bring it into the home, and then put it up, versus thinking their way through it. Oh, if I go get it, now I got to go, I got to remember to get it, then I got to come in and remember to install it, versus it being there on the front doorstep. Let me grab this and put this up real quick. Yeah.
Well, not only remembering it, but a lot of folks still have to remember their actual air filter sizes. You know?
Come on. No. And it's so funny, Mr. Washington, that you bring that up, because it's akin to going out
But that's good. That's
and
good.
shopping for a new dress shirt.
Right.
When you walk into the department store and someone asks you, well, sir, Mr. Washington, what is your neck size? You may be like, please pull out a tape measure and let me know. I know very few people, if you were to meet them on the street and ask them what size air conditioning filter goes in their home, would know. So I think what separates your services from the big box stores is not only convenience, but they're able to set up a profile where you all would know what type of system they have, what size filter they need, and you take away the guesswork because you keep them on a schedule.
Exactly.
As opposed to them having to discipline themselves and figure out their own schedule for changing AC. You guys do all that for them. So my question for you is, what type of feedback have you gotten from your clients after they sign up for your service?
Oh, well, once they sign up for the service, and the first time it's always, okay, fine, I got it. It's always after the second shipment.
Right.
It's the second shipment that gets them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because then at that point, it's delivered. They wasn't expecting it. They had totally forgot about it. And then all of a sudden it's at their doorstep,
Yeah.
right? And so now it's like, oh, yes, this is important to me. It's here. I didn't have to worry about going out to get it. And that's when they start to share it with their friends, and that's when they start to share it with their family members. So it's always the second shipment. And then from that point on, they're on. And I mean, for us, attrition, it's very seldom that we'll have someone to actually fall off. At one point during the oil and gas kind of fallout, we did have some customers. Of course, they're going through, you know, their bills and kind of saying, all right, this is something that's, you know, not as important right now, so we'll take it off. But the minute they got back to working, they were right back at us to say, hey, listen, add us back on. We want to have a subscription because this makes sense for us.
And just for all of our viewers and listeners, your service is just as easy and convenient to sign up for as new parents signing up for diaper delivery for their new baby.
It's the same.
So let's go over what the actual nuts and bolts process would be for someone who wants to sign up for your service.
Okay, they'll go to our website, you know, stroho.com. There are 3 different types of filters, and it's based on, you know, what you have in your home, if you have pets in your home, if you're a smoker, if you have kids, if you have allergies that are truly affecting you or your kids, then you can make your selection on what type of filter you would like to have delivered. Once you've selected the type of filter, then you go through and you select your sizes. Once you select your sizes, you check out, and we take care of the rest.
And it's funny because after every episode of the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, I get a lot of feedback via text messages, Facebook inbox, IG, direct message. And just for those people who might not necessarily be as educated as far as the air conditioned filter and how those things operate, let's explain to people how they would go about finding out what size air conditioned filter they have. No, because Larry,
that's a good one. I know I'm laughing, but I totally.
No, Larry, please let me know what your experience, because when we say just go to the website and tell them what kind of AC you have and what size filter, it all seems like cotton candy until you actually get there on the page and they ask you to fill in the blank.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they should do probably in the beginning,
Yes.
or even before that. If they go to the page and then they figure out that they don't know them, because that's how some of those questions could be triggered. And then is you just go find your vent section. It's going to be this in the ceiling, maybe against a wall, but it's going to be something that you remember your builder pointing out to you umpteen years ago,
Way early at your walkthrough,
and
right?
and hopefully you have at least changed it.
One time.
Oh man. Yeah, it's something to think about, though.
No, and just for everyone who may not necessarily know where their air conditioned unit is housed and where to be able to actually find the filter, a lot of times you can go to YouTube, depending upon who your HVAC company is who installed your air conditioned filter, and call them or reach out to them and find that information. But it is really important to be able to know your sizes and what type of unit you have in your home.
Well, not only that, and one of the things that is key now, especially with new builds, all of your new builds, your filters now are actually inside of your unit, inside your attic.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you now, if you're in a brand new home, you have to go in the attic, inside the unit, and that's where the filter is housed.
Thank you so much for sharing that info.
Yeah.
Okay, and so a lot of times if we talk about out of sight, out of mind, it's truly in the attic.
Yeah.
Out of sight.
And out of mind, yeah.
And out of mind. And so a lot of folks don't know that that's where it's housed. Even as you mentioned, you're walking through the house and you'll see the vents, but in your new builds, those vents are empty.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. And so you have to go inside of the attic and then look inside of the unit, and that's where the filter is housed.
Filter's house.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, in your older homes, the filters, as you mentioned, as you walk throughout the house, you'll see them, and then that way you can then open the vent, pull out the filter that's currently there, get the size from there, and then you can notate it or
complete the process.
complete the process of making a purchase. And again, once you do it that one time, then you never have to worry about it again.
It's funny because before the show we were discussing not only your services, not only how convenient it is, but you also work with clients at the time of close.
Yes.
So can we talk about what you do for new homeowners at the time of close and the small gift that you present to each one of them to introduce your services and your company?
So one of the things that we were trying to figure out is how do we continue to get inside of the home? And the best thing that we could have did was partner with realtors like Larry and brokers, like Larry, and that was our gateway inside the home.
Right.
And so what we did was we created what we now call the Strong Home Kit. And it's personally designed actually for the realtor.
Yeah.
And so it's all now custom designed to the realtor, for the realtor. There's a special note that we send and that we create from the realtor to their client.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it's just a thank you to say, hey, thank you for allowing me to be your realtor. This is an amazing journey that the two of us have been on. This is a great accomplishment for you to now become a homeowner.
Correct.
And here's a little token of my appreciation to you. And this is something that is extremely important for you and your family as you move and start this venture into your new home.
Yep.
And so what realtors are doing now, and one of the things that I really love about Larry, and Larry took this on very early, is that he took on a subscription model.
Yeah.
And so each month we charge him, and then he gave us a list of even some of his past clients, right? Because also inside the kit, we have what we call the pass it on card, right? Because even though he's connected with this new homeowner, they have friends, they have family members, they have colleagues that Larry want to know that other realtors want to know. And so now they can take that card and they can pass it on to a family member, to a friend, and that sets up a referral program now for realtors and for Larry to be able to then meet their friends, their colleagues, and they'll sell his service to say, listen, he worked with me throughout the entire process. He walked with me through every step of the way. He made sure the inspection was done. I definitely recommend him as a broker, as a realtor for you now that you're ready to purchase a home. So with our kit, we've basically designed it so that one is something that the realtor benefits from it, but more importantly, their client benefits from it as well. Recently, we've added a Pizza Hut gift card to the kit as well, because one of the things we realize is that not only are they not aware of air filter changing and the smoke detector batteries as soon as they get in the home, but the one thing we do know on day one, they're not cooking.
Right, exactly.
So they need a meal as they're moving boxes in, as they're
Makes
getting
sense,
themselves set
total.
up in the home. They need a meal on that first night, and that's why we went to Pizza Hut and said, hey, listen, can you create a package for us that we can also set them up with as they're moving into their new home?
I mean, as far as your product and services, there isn't anyone who will see this podcast who won't have a use for what it is you provide. So I want to thank you, your organization, for what it is that you provide to homeowners, because inner air quality, general wellness, family health is paramount for 99% of the homeowners that I've ever interacted with, that Larry's interacted with, and that you've ever interacted with. So from that standpoint, I believe you're doing something for people that they won't even understand the benefits for years down the road. And that's what I think is so important about having you on the show. But when we come back from this break, I want to get into a little bit of Mr. Myron Washington, the person, the man. How you got to where you are today. Who are some of your mentors and inspirations, if you wouldn't mind?
Sure.
So I urge everyone to stay tuned to the Prime Real Estate Network. We're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a short spot. Thank you very much.
Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Prime Real Estate Rick. My co-host is Mr. Larry W. Brooks, the Texas Real Estate King, and you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram at Texas Real Estate King as well. Today on the Prime Real Estate Network, our guest is the founder and president of Strong Home and Stroho.com, Mr. Myron Washington. Welcome to the show, Mr. Washington.
Thank you for having me, Rick and Larry.
And in our first segment, we were discussing your company, what it is that you guys provide, and some of the services that you can deliver. But in this segment, I want to talk to you about Mr. Myron Washington, the entrepreneur, Mr. Myron Washington, the business owner. Where do you feel your initial inspiration to embark on a path of entrepreneurship? Who sparked that in you, you believe?
My mom, actually. And she wasn't a business owner. But she was one who prayed and worked extremely hard to support my sister and I coming up in New Orleans. And so she has always been a great inspiration to me. And in her work ethic, just day in and day out to support us by herself alone to make sure that we always had, was my inspiration. It still is today, and I sit down and I have the luxury of actually having mom to live with me right now, and so just to watch her continuing to grow and to work and to pray with us as a family and continue to give us the inspiration, and even with the number of aneurysms that she's had and fought through with a number of surgeries, and she's still, moving and as strong as ever.
Wow.
And back in, I would say, almost 21 years ago, she was only given 3 months.
Wow.
Mm.
And she's still moving around, right? And
Wow.
so, while we, and granted, yes, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who I can also say has given me, inspiration and true motivation. But at the end of the day, just kind of coming up in a single parent home and watching how mom, worked to make sure that we always had,
Yeah.
that was enough for me right there.
That's outstanding because the great thing about having this type of platform is that Larry and myself, our aim is to motivate and inspire the youth. There are young professionals, young entrepreneurs, those who are thinking about going down this path. And I hope that every week when they turn into the Prime Real Estate Network, they can meet, see, and possibly even interact with someone like yourself who can show them how to have a goal, start down a path, and however to achieve success. So thank you so much for serving as a symbol of that
Thank you.
for not only our viewers, but also people that you interact with on a day in and day out basis. Mr. Brooks.
Not only Myron, what's a good book that you would recommend for someone right now? Or what are you reading right now? I'm just kind of curious, like a good book, good audio, anything like that, because I've been around you a few different times and you're very wise. So I know that that you have some things that could be shared.
So right now what I'm reading, and it's funny that you ask, and I started to bring it, I'm reading Pour Your Heart Into It
Okay.
by Howard Schultz,
Okay.
Starbucks.
I've heard of it. I haven't had it yet, but that will be my next up. That
Okay.
will be my next up.
And so I needed something to kind of, keep me motivated, right?
Yes.
And so you look at one of the top brands, in the market, and so I went back and so I had it for a while, and thanks to my wife, because she's the one who will go out and search,
No doubt about it. Yeah.
for the right book,
Yeah.
at the right time for me. And so, Pour Your Heart Into It, Howard Schultz, the Starbucks book.
Cool.
And one of the things that he focuses on in the books is how many times he was told no.
That's right. That's just it.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
And thank you for that recommendation. Larry, I know a lot of times as you interact with people always want to pick your brain and they have questions. So with Mr. Washington, I know you guys have known each other for a while. You guys have discussed things. Like you said, you've worked with his company and you guys have a partnership relationship. What type of things would you and Mr. Washington like to dispel this week for your real estate mythbuster?
And so here's the funny thing about it, because I think that when people think of filters, even when it does trigger their mind to go out and do it, I think they feel like it's okay to run out to the local dollar store. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, we get that all the time. And people don't value and truly look at an air filter as something important. And so a lot of times they'll go to the site and they'll look at pricing and they'll say, oh, that's too much. I can get it at Home Depot for $3 or $4. But you can purchase, that cheaper filter at Lowe's or Home Depot. Yes, you can. And of course, they still sell the same exact filters, that we sell as well. But those filters don't work as they should.
Good. And that's what people need to know.
And so what happens is you're going to find yourself, one, changing that filter more often.
Okay. Wow.
You're going to find yourself in a position to whereas there's still more dust throughout the home because that filter is not as strong or thicker as the pleated filters that we're offering.
Yep.
Right.
And see, I don't think you really realize the difference. I think when people get in front of them, they're like, okay, well, I don't really know the difference, but I'm going to get the less expensive one. But yeah, I agree.
Do this for us, Mr. Washington, because we've reached the end of our show. But I want to make sure everyone who's heard our voice or will ever see this episode knows how to reach you directly, how to reach your company, and how to enroll in your services. Because please share the contact information with our viewers, please.
Yeah, so go to our website again, stroho.com, STROHO.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Stroho Home. Again, our website is stroho.com, Instagram and Facebook at Stroho Home. Gentlemen, it's definitely a pleasure to be here. I do want to throw this in real quick, and it is not only residential that we focus on. We're now focusing on commercial as well. So your Starbucks, your Smoothie Kings, your Quiznos, all of those guys have air filters as well. When you go into a restaurant, you want to be able to eat in a healthy environment. Right?
Yeah.
We have we've just brought on a mega church in Dallas. We've brought on a hotel in Dallas, and so Dallas has been, from a commercial standpoint, a big market for us.
Wow.
And so we're now actually shifting and really starting to talk to small business owners, your hair salons, your barber shops. All of them have air filters that need to be changed regularly, especially barbershops and hair salons, where the different hairsprays and different things and chemicals that are going out through the air. They need something to make sure that that air quality within their business is actually great as well.
And thank you so much, because there are many entrepreneurs, business owners that tune in weekly to the Prime Real Estate Network pod. Mr. Brooks, are there any final messages that you would like to share with our audience before we sign out for this week?
Focus and pay attention, guys. This is good information.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into this week's episode of the Prime Real Estate Network pod. As always, I urge you to go to brooksanddavis.com for all your real estate needs, buy, sell, and invest. You can follow myself at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow Mr. Brooks at the Texas Real Estate King. As always, thank you. We look forward to you tuning in next week, and have a great week from the Prime Real Estate Network.
Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.